was a hater before.
Oh my god, of
Uh,
what? Of glow?
give it to me! Don't be afraid to make bad art.
Wait, am I making art for me? Hi Glow friends, welcome to Glow's YouTube channel. Oh my god, our first time doing an interview like this. Today I am joined with the beautiful, wonderful Oopsieblue, and we will be talking a little bit about who she is, her background in art, her merch design that I'm wearing right now, and you'll get to just kind of get to know a little bit about her. But first, Oopsie is a graphic designer for the Glow team, so shout out to her. A lot of the cute graphics you see on her socials have been created by her. And she is also an artist and a streamer. I'd like to also introduce myself. Hi, I am Kat. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a co-founder here of Glow, the gaming league of women. I have been doing content creation for about 2 years. I'm a digital artist. I also am a small business owner, and I honestly dabble in a lot of things. I'm a barista. I do fashion style content, and I have a lot of small little niches and stuff. But enough about me. Today is about Oopsie. The reason why we wanted to have this interview today is because Glow just came out with merch for the first time. Insane, crazy. The first design was actually created by Oopsie. Oopsie, let's go ahead and introduce yourself to the Glow community. No pressure, no pressure.
I'm Oopsie. I created the first design for the first merch drop, which is very exciting. I just never thought that one day I would be doing that. I'm very, very grateful and honored to be able to have done that.
Yippee! Also,
Yay!
Oopsie, I guess I wanted to ask you too, where are you from? And kind of like, what do you do online? Like, what is your online persona?
I'm from Mexico and I moved to the States when I was 5 years old. I view myself as a Latina artist and streamer. For online, I'm still figuring that out, but right now I'm just trying to find myself a bit more and enjoy myself and explore with my identity.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's hard because I feel like sometimes you hear, oh, you should niche down and you should try to be this type of creator. But honestly, more recently, I've heard people say, oh no, try everything, be everything, because you never know what your audience is gonna like about you. So try everything. So it becomes a little bit complicated on figuring out what you want to show people and what people will relate to. So
Exactly.
also, just a little Latina moment. Shout out to mi gente. Ooh, love that for us. I also came to the US at 5, so I can definitely relate with you on being raised in the US and coming from another country and stuff.
Yay, slay!
Yay, look at us. Cool. I love that. I guess just to dig deeper about kind of what you said, you're still figuring it out, right? Like you're still trying to figure out who your online persona is. But I guess just like a little background on Glow. When did you join Glow? And like what made you want to join Glow? And now you're in the Glow team. So what was that process like for you?
I think I joined Glow in 2022, late 2022, and I had been streaming on and off for a while. I think since the pandemic, I would maybe stream like once every 6 months, and I just never really understood. Actually, I think I was a hater before.
Oh my god, of
Uh,
what? Of Glow?
of streaming. Sorry, of
Oh,
streaming. Of streaming. I'm so I'm
I'm
so
like,
sorry. No.
confessions?
Oh.
Confessional moment right now.
No, no, no. Of streaming. Because okay, when I first learned of streaming, I was like, why don't you just watch a YouTube video?
True.
And then, when the pandemic happened, I got more involved and I started realizing, oh, like it's a whole world.
Yeah.
And so I was living in Illinois. Oh, not me doxing, but it's fine. I don't live
Oop.
there no more. And then and then I moved back home, and that's when I started thinking more about streaming. And so one day on TikTok, I came across a video, and it was the Gaming League of Women Discord server.
Oh my
So
god.
I was like, "You know what?" At that time, I was very shy, like, I had never joined a Discord server ever. Well, like, I had friends,
Hmm.
like, friend servers, but nothing outside of that. So I was like, "This seems pretty cool." So I joined, and, um, because, Glow has the content creation side, I applied, to, the sign up form, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was welcomed in. So that really helped me with my streaming journey because I had only been at that point. I think I was only streaming maybe once a month or so.
Mm.
But since joining Glow, I started streaming more consistently because
Mm.
there was people making events on there. I remember my first, I guess, event was
What
hosted
was
by
it?
Alia? Ayla?
Mm,
Ayla. I think
mhm.
it's Ayla. So I joined a Minecraft server hosted by Ayla because they were celebrating hitting partner on Twitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was only a 1-month server. So and it was during March. I remember this because it was my birthday month.
Oh.
Um, so I was like, I'm gonna stream this whole month because it's only 1 month. So I
Mhm.
have to, make sure I'm there and capture in this moment. So I streamed, I wouldn't say every day, but at least 3 times a week.
Oh my god.
And it was also a charity event. So, you know,
Yeah.
I experienced doing like charity streams. So that was really cool. And I also
Mm.
met some people on there like Howdy KT.
Mhm.
Um, and
Wait, I
we've
didn't know you
been
met Howdy in Glow. That's crazy.
yeah. Yes, and
Wow.
so, we've been super close since. And then shortly after, I also met Alyssa Mental
Yes.
through Howdy, but I think they met through Glow too.
So
So,
cool.
yeah.
Wow, it's like the what's it called? Like, in Marvel they have the verse, like the world. I feel like the Glowverse is
Oh,
its own
yes.
world where
Yes.
characters all just like mingle with each other that you would never expect to mingle.
Mhm.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
So you
Oh,
literally
yeah.
started your consistency in streaming because you joined that Minecraft event in Glow.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
And it took away the fear of hitting live because, you started doing it more and more. I did start streaming Valorant, which it's very interesting
Oh, Valorant.
because yeah, Valorant.
I hate it.
But yeah, I also met other friends. I don't want to like, like you, Freckles, so sweet, almonds, yeah, killer almonds.
Wow, all the shout
To name a
outs.
few. I'll let shout out. I
Ayy.
gotta shout
I'd like to
them.
think.
I like to think.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so you basically started meeting a bunch of different people within Glow once you joined the
Mhm,
content creator side of the server. Because if y'all didn't know,
mhm,
Glow is divided into two parts. So the first general access to the server is for everyone. Meaning anybody outside of identifying as women or LGBTQ. So anybody can join Glow. But we do have a separate designated section for those who identify as content creators and women or LGBTQ plus creators. That way, it just kind of creates a safe space for those creators, since usually our communities are the ones who are targeted online and on Twitch, like hate raids or just harassment or doxing or parasocial type of people. So that's why we wanted to make a separate space. But anyway, you got more involved and then you joined Glow
mhm.
Team. Like, what made you want to
Whoa.
join the Glow Team to begin with?
I wanted to join the Glow team because I knew how big of an impact they had for me. And so I wanted to help, do what I can to help Glow Girl. Help Glow Girl.
Help grow
um
Glow.
yeah, or just at least be part of this organization because I do think the mission behind it is very important, and I just think that it's a very needed space.
Wow.
Mhm, mhm.
We love to see it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've
Yes.
been in the team for like a couple months now. And one of the first projects that you tackled was literally creating the merch that I'm wearing right now, which is so cute. I'm going to show them the back real quick. Okay. I don't know
Woohoo!
how much they saw, but this merch is called Glow Up and it was designed by Oopsie. So myself, Oopsie, and Cami got together on a couple calls, started brainstorming some merch ideas, put out a few drafts, and once we saw everybody's designs, we were like, I think Oopsie's merch is awesome to start off because I don't
Yay.
know if y'all could tell, but it's just, I feel like it shows and displays Glow's aesthetic really perfectly, especially with the back design. Maybe we'll insert a picture, but it is like gaming related and it's just the perfect colorway too. And it's like going live aesthetic too is so related to what Glow encompasses, which is like a community for gamers and streamers and stuff and content creators. So I guess my next question for you, Oopsie, is what inspired your Glow merch, Glow Up design?
I really wanted to reference like retro gaming consoles and create an image that would also somewhat evoke nostalgia.
Mm.
I changed some of the wordings, like it's inspired or references the Game Boy cartridge. And I just thought it was a fun play of words, Game Boy, Game Glow. Apparently, there was a console called Game Girl, but it wasn't. I don't really remember it that
Oh,
well, to be honest. Uh, but
I wonder
you
what that
know,
looked like.
I looked it up. It looks. I think it pretty much looks the same.
Oh, okay.
Design wise, it's just different wordings and maybe like the colors are different.
Mm.
Um, I tried to look up why Game Boy was called Game Boy. I
I
don't know if I
that's
reached a
honestly
conclusion, but
that's such a true point. I think
yeah,
I guess the people in the gaming industry at the time didn't think women or girls wanted a game console designed for them.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the only explanation I could find was, as you kind of said, their main market was boys, so that's why it was Game Boy.
Yeah.
But
I guess
yeah,
that's
so
fair, but times have
yeah,
changed,
exactly. So
clearly.
that's why I was like, well, now we can change it to Game Glow, and it's for glow.
Yes.
And then the Now Live, I think I can't remember anymore what it says, but I think Now Live, references streaming.
Yeah,
So,
which is
yeah.
perfect 'cause our community is like a bunch of streamers as well. I mean, we do have some
Mhm,
members who are YouTubers or like TikTok streamers or
mhm.
a lot of different type of like content created spaces, but I do think we tailor more towards like streaming for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the image itself, I wanted something that I said mentioned earlier evoked nostalgia. So I was looking into a lot of different imagery that I personally, when I saw, I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, that reminds me of early 2000s."
Yeah.
Sorry, had to
No,
scratch my nose.
honestly, every time I wear it, someone compliments it. I've been wearing it a
Really?
lot out and about, and they're like, "Oh my god, I love your t-shirt. I love your shirt." And I'm like, "Thanks." And then the other day, I was ordering my coffee, and the person that I was ordering with noticed I had like a Valorant tote bag and my shirt and everything, and I'm like, I look like a gamer right now. Like I'm like spitting out gamer, and it's literally because of the merch and everything. Like it all just came
Mhm,
together. So I just feel like this is such a great merch to represent Glow and like just yeah, in a such aesthetic, subtle way too. I feel like it doesn't like it's not too obvious. Like it's a little subtle, which I like.
mhm. Yay.
That's so cool. I do have another question for you. Personally, I guess for you, as an artist, does gaming influence your artwork at all when you're making? So I know that for the merch it did, but I guess, yeah, if you want to elaborate on that in general, like, does gaming influence your art?
Yes, gaming has had an influence in my artwork more recently because I'm finally feel comfortable to explore my interest in gaming without feeling it'll be frowned upon
Mm,
because when I was in college or even in high school, there was disdain from professors or teachers of doing things that reference pop culture a lot.
mm-hmm.
You were kind of expected to do more fine artsy
Yeah,
things.
like traditional stuff.
Yes. But at the same time, I did discover a lot of artists that would use video game as a medium or
Mm.
explore, digital stuff, but they had like another layer to it. It wasn't just for the sake of enjoying gaming. It was always something about dissecting it, if that makes sense. But of
Oh.
course, I mean that's interesting in itself. I
Mm-hmm.
really I really love, looking at different artists and what they're talking about in these pieces. It's not to be like, "Ugh, I couldn't explore,"
Right.
which it's also on me because I put that pressure on myself that that would be frowned upon
Mm.
when I could have just stuck through it and lived my truth, you know?
Yeah. I have a
So,
random question. Did you ever have Flipnote Studio on your DS or like a Nintendo? Do you know what
I
that is?
actually I do know what that is. Okay.
I
Sad
love
story.
Flipnote.
Listen to
Wait,
this sad story
what
of
happened?
my childhood.
Wait, the trauma.
The trauma. Um, so I didn't really get my first gaming console was a Wii because
Same.
my yeah, my parents just didn't like gaming wasn't it for girls. Okay,
Yeah.
I would look at my cousins and because
Yep.
they're boys, they're men, and they would get all these gaming consoles as presents.
Yep.
They had the PSP, they had the
Every time a new one came
PS.
out, they would get the new one. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Why? I want it. Give it to me.
I
I'm
know I
sorry.
was honestly very salty and bitter. Like I was like,
Mhm.
please, why can't that be me?
Yeah. And whenever I went on field trips in elementary school, these kids would bring their DSs, play PictoChat, and I was here like, I wish I had one of
Okay, that was low key me though. I'm not gonna lie. I
them. I
loved, I
was looking at
loved. No.
you. Give it to me.
Nah. Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. I'm
She's
just
gonna steal my DS. Y'all hide your DS from Oopsie, I swear.
No, no, no. It's okay because in high school, I got my first job, and then I with whatever I saved, I bought my first 3DS, and I was
Mm.
so happy.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I have
Wow.
to.
You have oh,
Or
you
3,
said,
I
wait, I
can't
got the
remember.
adult money now. Let me get
Yes,
two.
no, really, I went crazy.
I support that. I mean, I feel like that's part
Mhm,
of healing your inner child, like giving yourself things that you didn't have back then because of, I don't know, society at the time or your parents' financial situation. And then now that you're an adult, you're
yeah.
like, let me get all these like blind box collectibles, stuffed animals, games, and yeah,
My little boo-boo.
yes, Oopsie and her boo
I kiss
boo.
this baby every day. Just
Confessions, all the confessions. Um, but no, I mean, I think that's a good point that like gaming wasn't something that like was a kind of uh not like an expectation, but something that came easy to girls. I
Mhm,
think. I think parents did kind of like frown upon young girls gaming, and that's at least that's how it was in my childhood. More like a
mhm,
stereotypical Hispanic household where my mom didn't really want me gaming like that much.
mhm.
So I completely feel
Yeah.
you on that for sure. I wanted to ask someone. I guess it's more of like maybe you got to dig deep, but what are some challenges you face as an artist and how are you overcoming it? Because you clearly are involved in so many different mediums,
Mhm.
ceramic, fine arts, digital art, like illustrations with pen, like pencil. So like what are some of the challenges you experience and how are you working with those challenges right now?
Mhm. So the biggest challenge I faced since college, I would say, is identity. It's so tied into kind of what you do. So, growing up Latina in the US, you also have that inner struggle, the inner conflict with uh feeling expected for your art to look a certain way,
Mm,
which is something that I faced a lot in college as well. And also at the same time, because my parents are immigrants, or like, well, we're all immigrants,
yeah,
in my family.
same.
But even knowing what they had to sacrifice, I always felt that I had to compensate like my art for them. So that's
Hmm.
another reason why I feel like I'm at this point. I'm finally healing. Okay, so I'm kind of talking backwards, but this is I'm overcoming these struggles as the question, put it.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of the direction of my artwork I felt was focused on, well, I have to make them proud. How can I make them proud with my art? Because I've been doing art for as long as I can remember. It's something that I've always been wanting to do. But it wasn't until college where I started getting pushback from my parents. Like
Mm,
they were supportive before, but then suddenly in college they were like, "Why are you still taking art classes?" Like suddenly, I guess reality hit, and they were like, because art is not it's not a conventional job.
yeah. And a
And
lot of the time,
so
I think immigrant parents want you to pick like being a doctor, being in the medical field, being a lawyer, being an
yeah.
engineer. And, that's
Yeah.
great to an extent to wish the best for your children, but also you kind of like stomp on their dreams at the same time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I feel that. But go on.
Yeah. Yeah, so exactly like that. My mom was like, "Why can't she be a nurse?" And I'm like,
I
I've
don't
never
want
done anything
to. I don't want
with
to clean
needles.
poopy. I'm okay.
No,
I'm
no, thank you.
okay.
I'm okay."
But shout out to the nurses for real because y'all are out here
Yes,
like amazing human beings.
exactly.
Bless.
Like, if I could, maybe, but that's not the life for me. Um, yeah. So I kind of I didn't lie to my mom. Okay, she ain't gonna see this. It's fine. maybe I'll
Let
show
me
this.
forward this.
Let me. I'll show this to her when I'm successful.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
Um. Yeah. Just
Wait, you
kidding.
are successful. You are.
True. 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 You're right. You're right. You're right. So basically, how I got out of that dilemma was I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be an art teacher."
Oh,
Because my
uh-huh.
mom, she was an art teacher. Not she
Oh.
was not an art teacher.
Oh.
She was a teacher.
I was about to be like,
She was a
wait,
teacher.
why is mom coming
Sorry.
at you?
Sorry.
Maybe don't said this to her actually. She's like, my own daughter doesn't know my job. Go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, she was a teacher in Mexico.
Oh.
She actually was my teacher for a little bit.
Oh, wait. Was that ever hard for you?
I can barely remember, to be honest,
Okay, okay, okay.
because I was under 5.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when we moved to the US, because degrees aren't they don't transfer
Yeah.
over. She
So
had to
dumb.
not, yeah. But anyways, so I always felt like with art, I had to please them to show them like um I guess our culture so that I would feel like not fulfilled, or at least feel like I was showing appreciation to them
Yeah.
and the sacrifices they had to make. And I
Mm,
did enjoy a lot of some of the stuff that I made, but there was always this feeling of disconnection from my artwork, because I was trying to do things that I
yeah.
felt they were gonna like,
You were
versus
satisfying their, I
yeah,
guess, expectations or whatever.
yeah,
Do you
over mine.
do you feel like you're bridging that connection now? Like how are you bridging that connection with
Mhm.
your art and yourself without them in the equation?
Yeah. So it's definitely taken a a lot, because that has led to like burnout and also just not
For real.
knowing anything. So I know a lot of times I feel like I've said IDK, I don't know. Like whenever people ask me like what I'm doing, I'm like, I don't know. mainly because there's like fear under there.
Mm.
But let me show you.
Oh, show us.
Kat, you're gonna be like, not this again. I'm
Oh,
doing
yes. Wait, no, tell the people. Go ahead.
so I've been doing the artist way. It's a 12-week course, self-guided course, because I don't know where this lady's at. But basically,
We don't know where the professor's at, but
well, yeah. But it has a lot of different focuses per week. Like the first week is recovering a sense of safety.
wow. How many weeks
I'm
is it?
12.
Oh, that's not too
I
bad.
Yes, I'm almost done, which is
Let's
crazy to
go.
me.
Wait, that's
I literally,
huge.
even starting this was hard because I wanted to do this back in, what are we, 2024? Last year. I wanted to start this last year, or like that this was my New Year's goal last year.
Wow.
And it wasn't until this year that I finally was like, okay, I have to commit, sit down and do it.
Wait, but you're doing
And
it and you're almost done now. That's huge.
yeah, I'm on week 9. I was like, whoa,
Wow.
whoa. And it really is about healing your inner child, but it also kind of guides you how, in a way, with the questions it asks. And also, um, in addition to that, joining Glow itself was very helpful for me and streaming because I think what I lacked was feeling like I could express myself without
Mm,
judgment because nobody knows who you are when you first hit live, you know?
right.
Um, and meeting new people because if you're stuck, well, not stuck, if you're surrounded by the same people for a long period in your life, I feel like it's harder for you to grow as a person because you don't go out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it is scary. Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
scary to put yourself out there because you never know the type of people you're gonna meet. But so far, I've been I've been safe. I'm just kidding, not safe. I've been lucky. I've been lucky to
Aw.
meet very supportive people like you and all the Glow team.
I was gonna
So,
ask what or who are your biggest inspirations right now? Like, and these could
mm,
be inspirations within art or just outside of
mhm,
art, like people who just inspire you on a day to day that you're like, oh, when I see
mhm,
their stuff or just when I talk to them, like I feel inspired.
mhm. Well, to keep it, not to keep it. What the heck does that mean? Uh, um, so I have like different not I don't want to say categories because I don't want to be putting people in a box, but there's like different people that I look up to.
No, that's
Um,
fair. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, for sure.
yeah, that range from like friends to more like people I don't know, like influencers.
Mm,
So I would
hmm.
definitely say a lot of the people in Glow, as such as yourself, because I just see the way you guys carry yourself, and I'm like, it's inspiring, and it makes me feel like encouraged to be that way too.
That's how I
And
feel about
also,
y'all too.
yes,
This
and
is your
then
sign to
yeah.
join Glow because you will get inspired by the people
Woo!
in there for sure.
Yeah, I remember there's so many people that I remember like seeing their name a lot. And they, they have kept up their grind, I guess. I don't know. But even if, I'm not here to scratch that. That's not what I mean. I've seen a lot of people I've seen a lot of people within Glow from when I first started that are still working towards their dream that I find inspiring in itself. So even if I have not mentioned their names, like, yes, it's you.
you,
You
you
know, if
watching.
you know, yeah, you. So, and it's just, inspiring to see the consistency and commitment, even though I'm not consistent at all with my own stuff.
Same. And that's okay.
But yeah, it's okay. Everybody has their own journey. So that's what I tell myself.
And I feel like it's hard to put a like a timeline or kind of like any type of barriers in the creative process sometimes,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to like drawing or art.
Mhm.
I think it could be a little bit hard to force yourself to do it. You can do things to kind of like help enhance or like encourage you to get creative, but you also have to be taking care of your mental health. You have to be
Mhm.
taking care of like your physical health because like you just won't be in the mood to draw if you're not okay, you know? So
Yep.
I think that is also why it's okay if you aren't consistent with your art. And whenever you feel like it's the right time to let the world see your art, it'll happen and you'll feel it.
Mhm.
And something in you will like kind of just like flourish within. And you'll be like, ah, I feel so creative. I gotta draw all the time and I gotta put these out for the world to see, you know? So,
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make bad art because I find that a big block that we artists have is that we expect our work to look exactly how it
yes.
is in our brain.
Mm
But sometimes it's on the third try, you
hmm. Mm hmm.
know? You just have to get it out. And that's something that I also struggle with and what has led to big blocks in my journey.
Yeah, make bad art, make bad
Mhm.
videos, make bad
Mhm.
streams. Because sometimes the videos that you take like 5 minutes, like planning, are the ones that pop off. And it's so
Yeah.
annoying, but it happens. And that's happened to me before. Like, where a
Mhm.
video that took me, I just did it on a whim. It was like my highest video on TikTok, and it got like my shop blew up because of it. But it was just a
Yeah.
shitty video. Like, honestly. So I agree.
And
Make
it's
bad
because
art, bad videos.
yes, it's because you trusted your gut and you just
Just
and you
put
there
it out
wasn't that
there.
yeah,
You
trust your
weren't
gut,
letting your
don't
second
overthink.
guessing and your thoughts and your
Exactly.
perfectionism to kind of dictate if something is worth being put out. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
like I think I've heard mixed reviews, I guess, on like quality over quantity, but I think it's just like you got to make a balance for yourself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like create the quality that you can with what you have. Like if you have an iPhone, do it with your iPhone. If you have a really great camera, use that really great camera. But if
Mhm.
you don't, that's okay. Like, yeah, I
Yes.
agree. I agree. I agree.
100%.
This
Yeah.
could be, I guess, similar to what we're talking about, but how do you deal with like burnout, especially with you're a streamer, you're an artist, you have a full-time job, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
So I'm guessing, you know, that there's moments where you feel a little bit of burnout. What is like your
Mhm.
go-to, I guess, routine when you go through a burnout stage?
Burnout, I think you just have to somewhat write it out, but not feel I mean, write it out, like, take it easy on yourself. Don't force through it. Well, that depends because sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like work deadlines, like things you have to do. But in terms of creativeness, I think you just have to be easy on yourself. And yes, this book back there, it also talks about burnout. Or, well, I think it's more about blocks, really. But with burnout, really, I myself, I think I'm on the end of burnout, honestly.
You're like at the tail end of it, or you're
Yeah, because for personal projects, like I can I made the merch
Mhm.
design, but that's because I it was tied to something, if that makes sense.
There
It
was like pressure
wasn't
behind it or expectations, like deadlines?
a little bit, but it wasn't just for me.
Mm.
For personal projects, that's what I mean. Like, I haven't really made a personal project since, well, okay. I don't know if this counts because I did do a collaboration with a friend from college in 2023 or 2020. No, 2022, 2023. We made
Hmm.
some dresses. Uh,
Whoa.
yes. I'm also a fashion designer. I'm just
Um,
kidding.
add that to your title because hello, that's huge.
they were also exploring their Mexican identity because they're Afro Mexicana
Mm-hmm.
or Afro Mexicane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we both were wanting to explore ceramics and wearable art.
Wow.
Well, yeah, ceramics and yeah, wearable art, I guess. I think that's yeah, whatever. And so we made this collection called Cielito Lindo.
Aw.
That was stressful and fun at the same time.
Mm.
Just yeah. It's a lot. It's kind of mixed emotions because as I said earlier, um did I make that work for me or was it too please
Like the
my
cultural expectation or your
yeah.
parents or yeah.
But also I think I'm just hard on myself because I did enjoy that process
Mm.
of and I mean I did incorporate things that I enjoy from my culture.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
it wins a
think
win.
yeah, it could be two things could be true at the same time. It could have
Yeah.
been for you and you enjoyed it, but it also could have been a mix of expectations that you were trying to meet because that's what you
Yeah.
thought at the time that your art should look like. That's what you thought you
Mhm.
should be doing with your art.
Mhm.
So I can
Yes.
see that. Whoa.
Yep. So, I think that was in 2022 and but it also, it was part of a collab and they were still in college when they were doing it, so they kind of had to show something within their
Portfolio type thing.
portfolio. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why I'm like I don't know if I would classify as like the end of my burnout because even after that, uh, there was a lot of all-nighters, not a lot of all-nighters, but I even forgot
Hmm.
another event that we did together, and it was for a museum. Every year they have this fashion couture fashion show,
Whoa.
and then you have to apply to get in, and we got in. So we had to make a piece, like a garment that reflected the theme of that year, which was like I can't remember anymore. It was like stories or something.
Wow.
I can't it was something specific, but I can't remember anymore. So we did that. Um
Do you think you're
and that
gonna
was
ever oh sorry.
oh,
Do you think you're ever gonna dabble back into that world of making garments and clothing?
I think so because it's see, this is also what causes burnout because sometimes you're so interested in so many things that you just don't know what to do,
Hmm.
which
Yes.
that in itself causes burnout, I feel.
I can so see
Um,
that. Yeah. I think
yeah.
that's honestly part of as someone who has self-diagnosed themselves as ADHD, I think that has to do with having ADHD for myself. I don't know about you, but for me, I think I have a lot of thoughts all
Yeah.
at once and a lot of creative ideas all flowing in my brain at
Mhm.
multiple times, and I literally can't act on one because I have too many and it's overwhelming. But I just got a
Yes.
planner and a planner does help. Having some type of system to organize those thoughts that are creative can help a little bit.
Yes. I agree with that. I was about to say, you see all these cubes back there?
What are those cubes back there?
Each cube has a different medium.
Wait, no way. That's so
I've got
cool.
fabric in one, I've got jewelry making in another, and then I've got
Stop.
Sculpey stuff in another.
You said any art form, give me that. I want to try it. I want to do it.
I got an airbrush thing right there.
What the
Help
heck?
me!
Yeah.
Help! I have a sewing
Save
machine right
me.
there. Those are my sewing machines, and that's my serger over there. And then there's my little damp box for
Wait, so
ceramics.
we're like
The
in your
thing,
studio right now, basically. This is like your
yes,
art
yes.
studio.
Help
Whoa.
me!
That's so cool. Okay. So
Save
because
me!
you have a lot of different, I guess, like mediums you dabble in. Now, if you could say
Oh yeah.
in 2025, what is the medium that you're most excited to devote yourself to, maybe more than the others?
Mm.
Your top one.
Well, For me, that's easy because
Oh,
ceramics will always be my number one.
oh, any type of
Yeah.
ceramics that, okay, like, can you tease us a little bit on what type of ceramics you're gonna try to make in the future? A little tease, a little sprinkle?
That is hard, you know? I did a lot more sculpture stuff. I Oh, you know what? I
Mm,
forgot to mention. I
mm.
got another job recently. Well, it's kind of part-time.
Oh,
Where I assist I do it like once or twice a month. But I'm an instructor assistant to wheel throwing.
oh,
So I love wheel throwing too, but there's just something about building with my hands that I really enjoy. So if, in what'd you say, 2025? Wait,
yeah.
20 oh, next year. Oh my
Next
god.
year, it's
Why did I
coming
think you're
up.
asking in 5 years?
That's wild. You're out here living pre-COVID. Wait, but I feel you. I feel you.
The reason why I haven't done a lot of ceramic stuff since you said COVID is because during COVID, I went to this other school to do a post back. So within the ceramics world, there's a lot of people after they get their undergrad, they do a post back that helps them make their portfolio to apply to grad schools.
Mm.
I had such a terrible experience.
Oh.
I think it may have been heightened because of COVID. So I feel like maybe the professors were just not equipped to handle COVID. But
Mm-hmm.
in general, I do feel like institutions, particularly art ones, have kind of a toxic culture where you're expected to be in the studio like 24/7,
Mm.
which
That's
is
so toxic.
unrealistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as I kind of mentioned earlier, or kind of, you know, whatever, I don't know the words, but sometimes they see your culture more than who you are as a person. So if
Oh.
you don't have a diverse, diverse, not with the students, but with the professors, if they're not, if they're white, let me just say, if they're white. I don't know if, but
Nah, talk about
if
it.
if they're not equipped to understand diverse cultures, or I don't know how to articulate it that well, but I don't know, I feel like they people need to go through some sort of training of, like, how to navigate students that are
Yeah.
from diverse backgrounds,
Yeah.
because sometimes they focus on certain things, and I'm like, "Can't we just make art?"
Yeah. That's
Like,
such
my
an
art is
important
Mexican
point.
because I'm Mexican, not because of how it looks.
Yes. I literally just saw a TikTok about this,
Mhm.
but it had to do with architecture.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the
oh my gosh,
did
I
you
know
see
what you're
that?
talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically an architect was showing off the specific like catalog image of this Mexican architect that made this beautiful home. It had like such unique like beams, like wooden beams. It was based in Mexico and stuff, and it looks gorgeous. I would love to live
Mhm.
there. Um, and then people in the comments, when she talked about the catalog, people in the comments were like, "How is this a Mexican architect? I don't understand how this is Mexican
Mhm.
art. Like this is just." They were trying to take away that it was Mexican and instead say this isn't Mexican. This is more like modern
Mhm.
or whatever, industrial, etc. And I agree with you in the sense of they're trying to kind of put a limit or a cap of
Mhm.
what each culture and each ethnicity can create in their art and saying, oh no, it should be like bright colors and it should have like roses and it should look a certain way, like a stereotypical almost version of like what they're expecting your art to be
Mhm.
because you're of a certain culture. But that is so wrong. And honestly, it's more harmful to the artist because kind of like what you're expressing, you are now just as of recently coming out of that box and like trying to figure
Mhm.
out, wait, am I making art for me or am I making art because this is what like society or parents or my professors or even the academia is expecting from a Mexican
Mhm.
artist like myself. And I think that's just so stupid. People should make art, like you said, regardless of what it looks like. Yes, yes, I agree with
Exactly.
you completely. And that's
Yup.
so disappointing that it made your process in school at the time like so unproductive and uninspirational because you were put in that
Mhm.
box in a way.
Yup. Yep, you hit the nail on the head because yeah. And also in general, like every country is so diverse in itself.
Yeah.
You know, they also have their own problems
Yeah.
with identity. You know, identity
Yeah.
is always hard.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have to constantly be thinking about it. Well,
Mhm.
not constantly, but you know. But yeah, exactly as you said. And it wasn't, you know, there was a lot of other things too that I'm like,
Yeah. I'd love to hear you more talk about that in your personal like in your personal like Instagram or in your socials or
hmm
make a blog post about it because I feel like it's such an
yeah,
interesting topic that maybe people don't hear about often. Um, but I did want to
that's true.
have not really some final questions for you, but what or is there anything that you're working on or thinking about working on that you'd like to share with the Glow community? And if you aren't working on something, no pressure, that is okay. But just in general, like what have you been up to as of late and what would you like to
Mhm.
share with the Glow community?
Yeah. So, right now I'm kind of working on I think maybe it's leads from the burnout question too kind of, but
Mhm.
just working on things without quickly without feeling like a perfectionist just to get it out there. So I've been doing some side things for family members that I just kind of had to get it out there. So that kind of helps, I don't want to say like train, but helps me just to let go.
Mhm.
So that's something I guess in head mentally that I'm working on.
Mm.
But as far as sharing, that's the thing is that I always have these things that I'm like, oh, I plan to do this, and then I never do them.
Mhm.
But this one is gonna be real. You know why? Because I am obsessed with blind box toys like Labubu.
Labubu.
Labubu. I count how many times we've mentioned Labubu.
Yeah.
Um, but I've also, you know, the merch I used Blender to help design. So I'm trying to learn how to also 3D I know how to 3D print. So I'm trying to combine my interest of blind boxes because even before Labubu, I was a heathen. I bought I'm getting off track. Anyway,
Tell us
if I had my little baggie of my little Minx
all your
toys, I would
trinkets
show
and
them my
toys.
trinkets. I literally bought 36 boxes. Uh, okay, you know how they're tiny. They're 36 little tiny boxes.
Yes.
They come in their little blind box thing. It's a Mattel product.
Mm.
Oh, they're so cute. Okay, hold on. I know for a fact I have some in my vicinity.
Showing us trinket haul, trinket haul. Show the people.
You see all these
Oh,
little guys?
oh, I've never seen those before. I don't think
I
they
don't
look
know if
like
you're
erasers, low key. Is
this.
that one like a little bit? Oh, I see it. I see it. It's so cute. It almost looks like a
Yeah.
Lego.
And then you can take its hat off,
Wait, I
and then
love
their
that.
little their little
And you just
clothes.
break them apart. Oh my god, they're just little
Yeah.
people.
I want to design little thingies like toys or whatever on Blender and then print them out.
Yeah.
That or make them out of ceramics. So that is
Yes.
kind of, you know,
I think that's a great idea. And I can't wait to
yeah.
see all your ceramic and 3D model babies one day. That'll
Yes.
be amazing. So cool.
Yes. So while I might not have anything physical to share, just know that
It's you're cooking.
I'm
You're
cooking.
cooking right now and that's okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Oopsie, for joining us today. This was our first time ever doing something like this, but we plan on doing more episodes like this in the future, especially because we have some more merch drops coming out in the future for Glow. And let us know if you'd like us to do more like interview style content like this, because I feel like that'd be really, really cool to just learn about different Glow friends in the Glow team or just people who are in the Glow server overall. But Oopsie, where can people find you? What is like the best ways to find your socials and connect with you? Or if like a brand, let's say La Boo is like, ooh, this girl really loves us. Let's send her a 40 pack of La Boos. Where can people find you?
Find me on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok,
Twitter?
X. Yeah, Twitter, because fuck X. I mean, sorry.
No, speak your
Um,
truth, to be honest. What honestly, we could have talked
uh,
about that too, like what AI is, how it's
oh
impacting
yeah.
art. Like, anyway, that's a whole. We could do a
That's a
whole
whole
nother.
thing.
Let us know if you want us back, and we can continue yapping
Yes.
about art and more.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your
Yeah.
socials and stuff? Your tags or whatever.
You can find me on. You can find me at Oopsieblue on Twitch, Twitter, and Oopsieblue with 2 E's on TikTok and Instagram.
Yippee! Which you recently rebranded, so that's exciting.
I did.
I love that for you. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching. Feel free to below. We'll link everything there. Also, if you want to join Glow, or if you're new to Glow and you're like, who the hell are these people? What is Glow? Why are y'all talking about art and stuff and merch that I've never seen? Well, you need to join Glow. So go ahead and click that. Everything will be linked below. But thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the good stuff. Goodbye.